Hey everyone, Austin back again with a face this time. I am resurrecting a very, very old video series I used to do. It's called A Casual Look At. And basically what we do in this video series is we talk about games very briefly. I basically talk about some basic mechanics, I give my opinions on the games, and I just show off what the games are like. The reason I'm doing this is that I mostly do playthroughs on my channel, and there are games that I like to play that I'll probably never in my lifetime finish, but I want to show them off and talk about them, you know, especially on platforms like the 3DO. We've got my old trusty FZ10 out right here, and we're going to talk about ICEBREAKER today, which is actually a pretty fun puzzle shooter. Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite games on 3DO. It's a really good chill out kind of game. It's not just a block dropper kind of puzzle, but you do a lot of moving and shooting and dodging and stuff like that too. And it's got a lot of personality, a lot of charm, some great full motion video and stuff like that. And so yeah, we're gonna talk about some ICEBREAKER and play it for about 5 or 10 minutes. For you old timers here that have been following me for a long time, you'll recognize this series, and hopefully it's home sweet home, that kind of feeling, this is kind of how I started on YouTube, doing stuff like this. And for the new folks out there that follow me for the gameplay and playthroughs and stuff like that, I mean, hopefully you enjoy this as well. Yeah, this is just a great way for me to be able to showcase games that I normally wouldn't really be able to cover outside of like a variety stream where I do a 3DO stream and then I show off, you know, 30 to 60 minutes of you know, a single game and then switch to another one. But this gives me a chance of briefly talking about a specific game. And again, like I said, today we've got ICEBREAKER. Really, really fun game. We're on the main menu right here. You actually have a lot of options to start, but I'm not going to really cover those. What I am going to do is just go to the level grid and just show off a couple stages. So what this is a top-down shooter puzzle game. The idea is to eradicate all of the pyramids on a playfield. And what's really awesome about this game is that they don't force you like in order with the levels. You've got this level grid right here, and you can play any of the 150 levels right from the get-go. I can go to the final level if I want right now, if I want. Now, it is recommended to do the ones in the blue box first, because, you know, they're like training stages, basically. But yeah, you can go anywhere you want. And as you can see, this one right here is pink. That means I've actually finished that level. Unfortunately, I lost my save data. Actually, my save data is on my FZ1, but my FZ1 is busted, so I can't use it right now. So I don't really have any levels completed on my FZ10, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. I can play whatever level I want. You know, the game's not blocking me. And then you've also got difficulty settings. You've got easy, medium, hard, and insane. And insane is actually insane. It's pretty crazy. You'll have swarms of enemies coming at you, and it's overbearing, and it might even be impossible. It's probably not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. So let's just pick one of these early levels here. How about we just do level 1? We'll just talk about. Oh, that's not level 1. Whoops! I hit down on the D-pad by accident, but that's okay. As you go through the levels, you get, you know, full motion video sequences that introduce different enemy types and other mechanics and things like that. Like I said, there's a lot of charm in this game. The full motion video is actually quite good. Some of the better FMV from the era. Probably the simplicity of the shapes probably helps that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and just hit A for let's go. And all right, so we've got rocks around. We've got these little teal pyramids that are coming after me. Those are enemies, and if you touch them, you die instantly. You do not want to die at all in this, because you got to do the entire level over again if you die. So the mechanics of this game are kind of interesting. You've got blue pyramids here, and what you do is you run into them and you'll break through them. The red pyramids you have to shoot. However, the red pyramids are also dangerous. If you touch them, you will die. Also, as you play, pyramids will randomly change color. You'll hear like this little popping sound over and over, and it goes pop, you know, makes a little pop sound, and that is a pyramid changing color. And so you kind of want to run through pyramids or shoot pyramids in between that popping sound, because that sound could click right as you're about to touch a pyramid, and it could say turn red on you, and then you die instantly. The animation in this game is great. It's a lot of personality. Like, even when you shoot the enemies, like, there's lots of little like particle effects and whatnot. It's really cool stuff. Even when you smash your pyramids, it looks really cool. The green pyramids, I didn't mention, are ones that enemies have to go through. So you can kind of bait the enemies downwards, and then they can smash the pyramids for you. So there's one right there. There's another one. Let's go this way. And yeah, it's a really chill game. It's really fun, and like I said, it's one of my favorites on the console because it's a game I can just literally just zone out to, and it's also the kind of game where like I can come home from a long day's worth of work. And then basically just fire up Icebreaker and then just play a couple levels and then I'm good, yeah. So those are the basics for the game. The game gets a lot more complex. Again, this is, I think, what was it, maybe like level 18 or something like that. Yeah, pretty simple concept, but it does get a lot more complex. You've got enemies that move a lot faster. You've got enemies that are like really, really fat, and you have to split them apart into multiple smaller pyramids. You start having like pits and stuff like that. Some enemies will just move around the pits. Other enemies can only die by being baited into a pit, and it gets really creative. There's a lot of stuff in this game, a lot of mechanics. So let's go ahead and just hit start here and exit level. We just hit X. One of the downsides to this game is there are a lot of load sequences. So if I hit P to go to my options menu here, loading. There's a lot of this in this game, unfortunately. So that does slow down the experience. But once you're in a level, like no loading at all, basically. It's just, it doesn't have to load in all the pyramids and stuff like that. But yeah, here are our options. You can actually play full motion video, which is pretty cool. I guess once you unlock them. But let's do, go back to the level grid, hit C. Loading, like I said. Also, once you're in the game and you're actually playing, the frame rate is not the best, unfortunately. It looks like we were on level 16. Let's go a little bit higher up. We'll do level 84. It's called Don't Panic. Some of the level names in this are actually pretty fun too. I mean, the whole game is just, it's fun. It's like, it's got good personality. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it's got really chill music. Now, the music loops are kind of small, so they can get repetitious, especially if you're on like a really big level. But it's great. I just love the personality in this game. So we've got pits here, so I can actually fall out. Whee! I love the whoa sound. Game over, dude. Yeah, it's good stuff. So let's go ahead and just hit play this level again. But yeah, blue pyramids, you just smash right through. And now we got some fat guys here. These guys you have to split apart, so they take a while to kill. And we've got pink pyramids as well. They move really fast. Very fast enemies. But yeah, you'll notice, oh, that caught me off guard. But you'll notice that like the frame rate, it kind of chugs along, that playfield, it doesn't scroll the smoothest. So, if you're used to modern day 60 FPS games, buttery smooth all the time, it might take a little while to get used to the choppiness of this game. But honestly, given the pace of the game, it's really not that bad in my opinion, and you definitely get used to it. Especially if you're a 3DO fan, it probably won't phase you if you're a 3DO fan, because 3DO frame rates can get really, really bad. As you guys will see in some future playthroughs of mine. So yeah, you've got to really stay on top of your enemies, because, like, again, these purple guys, they are extremely fast. Yeah, the game can get pretty intense. And with that said, let's actually go back. We'll do one more level. I'll show off the final stage in the game, so it's kind of like the whole shebang. But yeah, like Icebreaker is a great game on 3DO in my opinion. It's really fun. It's really chill. Great personality. You're not forced to play the levels in a specific order. You're not blocked from doing that. There's a lot of different difficulties, so there's just a lot of replay value in this game. It's a really solid game for the system, and I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of 3DO and puzzle games. So these purple ones, you shoot them, and they open up a pit. Man, that animation is just really cool. And we got some fatties. Now the fatties can actually walk over the slime, and this is slime. So you go in and it just sucks you right in. Really nice animation too. The artists on this game they did quite a solid job with it. I like the menus too. The menus look, pretty nice and whatnot. This obviously looks a lot better on a CRT, by the way. I'm running this through with S-Video into a FrameMeister upscaler, so the video quality upscaled is not the best, but if you play this on a CRT, it actually looks quite good, actually, even with the interlacing. 3DO upscales basically its video signal. All the games are actually rendered at about 240p, but then there's a scaler chip inside the console that upscales it to 640 by 480 interlaced. And so upscaling 3DO does not look the greatest. And it's also limited to S-Video. Unless you get an RGB mod, and that's expensive. I don't have that. Now, my FZ1 unit is actually, it's got a 240p switch on it, but because, again, the disk drive's busted, we've got to stick with the FZ10's S-Video output. But, yeah, it looks really clean on a CRT, even with the interlaced image. But notice that the fatties split apart, and the smaller ones that split apart from them are much faster. And it looks like they will actually fall down the holes, too. But I think the fatties themselves won't. I think they'll just kind of like, just kind of skirt around it. Yep, yeah, they skirt around it. That's actually good to know. So you split them apart, and then you just kind of bait them into the pit. That sound effect never gets old. It's so fun. Honestly, this last level doesn't look that tough. Not only that, I've actually, like... Now that I know that I can actually split these guys apart and they'll just go down into a pit, that's pretty cool. Alright, let's follow suit. Uh-oh. But yeah, guys, that is Icebreaker for the 3DO. Now, before we go, I did want to mention that there is actually a PC version of this game, which I do own. It's for Windows 95. Actually, it might even be for Windows 3.1. I want to say it's Windows 95 only. But yeah, don't really recommend the PC version. I think it's even choppier than this, and it doesn't look as good. And last time I ran it on my Windows 95 machine, I don't even think I can get it to run in full screen mode. But, it is cool that there is a PC version. Unfortunately, I don't have the big box for it. But, yeah, Icebreaker. It's on 2 different platforms, technically. But 3DO is the way to go for this game. Like I said, it's a really fun game. Lots of replay value, tons of levels in this game. And, you don't even have to play it on the medium difficulty. You can put it on the easier difficulty. And if you play it on insane, just trust me, there's like, you'll have like 20 enemies on screen, like all bunched up, just like, coming after you. And it gets really intense. So... But yeah, that's Icebreaker for 3DO. If you've played this before, let me know your thoughts on it. If you haven't played it before, let me know how you feel about what you saw here. And yeah, let me know what you think of this revitalization of an old video series. This is, I think, going to be a good way to just like mix up content on my channel, but I'd love to hear your feedback. I've got a couple cameras up and stuff like that. Hopefully this is a nice change of pace for people that follow my channel on a regular basis. So, but yeah, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, take it easy.